There are three basic methods. People essentially rely on oral, written, and non-verbal communication. The advantages of oral communication are speed and feedback. The major disadvantages of oral communication surface in organizations whenever the message has to be passed through a number of people. The more people a message must pass through, the greater the potential distortion. Written communication. Written communications include memos, letters, electronic mail, fax transmissions, organizational periodicals, notices placed on bulletin boards, or any other device that is transmitted via written words or symbols. Written communication is tangible and verifiable. Typically, both the sender and receiver have a record of the communication. The message can be stored for an indefinite period. If there are questions concerning the content of the message, it is physically available for later reference. A final benefit of written communication comes from the process itself. You are usually more careful with the written word than the oral word. You are forced to think more thoroughly about what you want to convey in a written message than in a spoken one. Thus, written communications are more likely to be well thought out, logical, and clear. Written messages have their drawbacks. They are time consuming. The other major disadvantage is feedback or lack of it. Oral communication allows the receiver to respond rapidly to what he thinks he hears. Written communication does not have a built in feedback mechanism. Every time we verbally give a message to someone, we also impart a non verbal message. No discussion of communication would be completed without consideration of non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication. It includes body movements, the intonations or emphasis we give to words, facial expressions, and the physical distance between the sender and receiver. The two most important messages that body language conveys are the extent to which an individual likes another and is interested in his or her views, and the relative perceived status between a sender and receiver. For instance, we are more likely to position ourselves closer to people we like and touch them more often. Similarly, if you feel that you are higher status than another, you are more likely to display body movements such as crossed legs or a slouched seating position that reflect a casual and relaxed manner. Body language adds to and often complicates verbal communication. A body position or movement does not by itself have a precise or universal meaning. But when it is linked with spoken language, it gives fuller meaning to a sender's message. Facial expressions also convey meaning. A snarling face says something different from a smile. Facial expressions, along with intonations, can show arrogance, aggressiveness, fear, shyness, and other characteristics that would never be communicated if you read a transcript of what had been said. Intonations. It's the way you say it. Change your tone and you change your meaning. Here are some examples how meanings change when you change the intonation. For example, when I say, "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" it means I was going to take someone else. "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" means instead of the guy you were going with. "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" I am trying to find a reason why I shouldn't take you. "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" could mean, do you have a problem with me? "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" It could mean, instead of going on your own. "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight instead of lunch tomorrow?" "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" could mean not tomorrow night.